We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, man.
Yes, Judge. On October 28th, 2024, the officer was dispatched in reference to a possible intoxicated driver in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant's vehicle failed to maintain a single lane, veer from one marked lane to another, nearly striking another vehicle, and the defendant's vehicle to be unnecessarily braking and then accelerating. The officer also observed the defendant's vehicle failed to signal a lane change in the left turn and failed to stop at the designated stopping line. The traffic stop was initiated, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle. The officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant stated she was returning home from the bar and admitted to consuming 2 mixed beverages of whiskey and Red Bull. The defendant urinated on her person, and standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to breath. The results were 0.124 and 0.118.
All right, Ms. Herrera, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? You speak English, right?
Yes, I do.
You're not allowed to drive. I'm going to have you sign a document with me today promising me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care where you got to go, what you need to do.
Okay.
If you don't have a license and liability insurance, do not drive. Do you understand?
I understand.
I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, likewise, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, man. How old are you, ma'am?
31.
What do you do for a living? You're a bartender.
That's why
I don't want to talk about the case. I only want to know or if you're able to hire a lawyer, man. Okay, we'll give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you go to up here to sign our document that you're not going to drive at all. We're going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions. After that, you'll be free to go. There's a lot of timing requirements, so don't wait a month or two to get your attorney. It's only going to end up hurting you. All right, man? Lori, you got my text? Mireles?
Yes. I don't have any way to get in contact with you.
I figured so. Okay. Shaw, that's right.
Yes.
You are Keon Shaw.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Shaw, you're charged with fleeing a police officer. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 27th, 2024, the officer was conducting a routine patrol on Eldridge Parkway when he noticed the defendant's motor vehicle traveling at an unsafe speed, exceeding the posted 35-mile-per-hour zone. The vehicle then began driving in a suspicious manner by making a sudden left turn on the street and immediately parking on the left side of the road. When the vehicle noticed the officer's fully marked patrol vehicle passing, it immediately conducted a U-turn and got back on the main road. When the officer continued to follow the defendant's vehicle, the vehicle again conducted a left turn and pulled into an alleyway. When the officer initiated his emergency equipment in an attempt to conduct a traffic stop, the defendant's motor vehicle passed multiple safe stopping points before finally coming to a stop after traveling 0.5 miles through a dark and empty parking lot.
What was he doing wrong?
According to the officer, he was originally traveling at an unsafe speed, exceeding the speed limit, 35 miles. He was exceeding that speed limit.
By how much?
Let me see the DMs if he specified. Your Honor, he did not specify. It was just an unsafe speed exceeding the limit. And then
Nothing's unsafe to me.
And then he began driving, according to the officer, in a suspicious manner, making sudden turns and then stopping on the side of the road and then getting back on the road once the officer passed. So
Anything illegal with that? you know?
I believe it would just be the speed limit would be the point at which the officer.
It's a conclusory statement. We need to have like a workshop on how to write ORs, man, for real. You know, everything in this office report is conclusory, suspicious, aloysius, you know? Is he driving while black?
Judge, would you allow us just a few minutes to call the officer just to see? We don't have an OR. We're just going off of the.
Sure,
terms.
let's do this. I'm gonna have them, because I want to make sure if we find probable cause that it's really there. All right, so just hang tight for me. We're gonna have to do a little deeper dive. If you just mind taking a seat for me momentarily, okay? Okay. Good morning, Mr. Daly.
How are you?
Do you have a lawyer today?
No,
Tell me what you're doing about that. What are you doing about that?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Have you spoken to anyone?
And for one,
How do you know you haven't even spoken to anyone? Huh?
I don't know.
You just keep saying, I don't know. Do you have a job?
No.
How do you get money?
I was about to get hired on with a job last Monday. Got they turned down to the driver license, so I'm going to go face another judge later on to see about getting community service so I can get that taken care of to get a job.
There are plenty of jobs that you can have that you don't need a license, though.
I know, applying. Nothing's happening.
So how are you getting money to eat? How do you eat?
But no,
So is it your girlfriend or is it your wife?
thanks. Right there.
No, it's not the same thing. It's not this. They're two totally different things. How long has your wife / girlfriend been supporting you? When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
DoorDash.
How you don't have a license?
I said before I did, it just happened. This just happened for my license.
Can you pull up his driving record, Alex, please?
Yes, Judge.
This just happened for my license.
When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
What time job? July.
Doing what?
Truck driver.
Did you have a CDL?
Yes.
How did you lose your CDL?
So it seems the last, we have a denied renewal from October 23rd, and then that was the most recent one, and then that's all we have as far as anything on his license.
Do you see a suspension?
I do see a suspension back in March of 2011, but nothing more recent.
So it's still showing ineligible, though, right?
It's ineligible as of now, Your Honor.
Does it give you a reason as to why it's
All
ineligible?
we have is just a denied renewal, and then it says failure to appear. That's the last action.
Are
we
you
have.
able to see if there are any outstanding tickets that are open at this point?
I am unable to see that, Your Honor.
A truck driver in July. We are now in November. So have you been jobless since November?
It's November. Yes. Since November, you said,
You said you had a full-time job in July.
right,
Okay, you stopped working in July.
right.
Okay. Have you had a full-time job since July?
No.
So you have been bumming off your wife?
I was door dashing.
You lost your license. You're unable to DoorDash at all.
Just lost my license.
When did it get suspended?
Your Honor, it says, besides that 2011, it says it was suspension in October 23rd of 2024 was the date.
This is what I want you to do. Where's my stickies? There we go. Stephen, would you mind giving this to me? This is the number to the DPS Driver's License Division. This is the number that you need to call to figure out what you need to do to get your license back.
Got it. I already know what's up.
Okay.
I
Are
want
they
my
open
license.
tickets now?
Yes.
Okay, what are you planning? You need to hire a lawyer to fix them. Don't just go over there and just,
Okay.
when you just, look, I can't give you legal advice, but just the more tickets you incur on your record, the more suspensions you're going to get. And if you're a truck driver by trade, all you're doing is hosing yourself. I'm not going to let you sit here and just be jobless, bumming, and being a leech on society, especially if we are supposed to give you a lawyer. Because if I'm giving you a lawyer, that means I'm paying for it. Steven's paying for it. Victoria's paying for your lawyer. It's not going to happen. So you can either hire your own lawyer, or if you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, great. But I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I'm making it a condition of your bond that you get a full-time job. And I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to get a full-time job. If you've sat here and say, oh, well, I've got an application here, I got an application here, I got an application here, with nothing to show me, life will not go well.
Like I said, I had a job supposed to start Monday.
Beggars can't be choosers. It's better to work at Burger King, at Chuck E. Cheese, than sit on your tuchus with do nothing, earning nothing, and leeching off other people and society in general. Do you understand? Beggars can't be choosers. Lower your standards.
I have.
Okay, then you've not gone low enough. If you need to go to Amazon, if you need to go to Starbucks, do it. I will give you an application, but I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you have done to get a job. There are plenty of jobs out there that will immediately give you a job. Do you understand? Okay, I'll see you back in 2 weeks. Stephen, do you mind giving me an application? No, fill it out now. Why delay the inevitable? But I'll bring it back in 2 weeks to see what you've done to get a job. Can you file Alex on this gentleman? Get a job, please, and no weapons and no driving on Mr. Daly. Vic, who's this?
This is Dolphus on page 8.
Got it. Is it Jose Adolphus? Good morning, Mr. Adolphus. Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. That makes it a Class A misdemeanor. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On July 6, 2024, the officers met with the complainant, the defendant's wife, who said the defendant was visiting her child at her apartment when the defendant told her he wanted to be with her. The complainant said she did not reciprocate the sentiment, and he told her that he should have killed her when he first got out in March because the complainant sent him to jail. The defendant also said he will kill the complainant if she calls the police on him again. The complainant was scared for her life and asked for a protective order.
Did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Yes, Judge. So
Shh.
I just want to make it known to the court that, yes, the defendant just was released from TDC for an assault against the same complaining witness. He was released in March. In July, he picked up this charge. I've also been in contact with the Family Violence Division at HPD because the complainant told me that she made a walk-in report on September 25th alleging that the defendant, she's currently pregnant, and alleging that the defendant has assaulted her again and that he threatened to kill her again because she went to the police. Those charges have not yet been filed, but I confirmed the existence of the incident report. Like I said, I've been in contact with the detective in this case.
You realize that you're near to being a true habitual. When you go to TDC, if you pick up a new case, you're a 15 to life case, a minimum of 15 years, Mr. Dolphus. Do you understand that?
Can I speak?
Don't. No, I've got a bunch of DAs here. Anything that you say, they're going to use it against you.
That's perfectly fine. I was nowhere near.
Stop. Well, I'm going to make that now, and I'm going to memorialize that with an ankle monitor so I know that you're not there or going I'm forbidding you from going within 1,000 feet of where she lives or where she works. If that thing dings, the battery goes dead. It's not going to go well. Do you understand, Mr.
Emma,
Dolphus?
sir. I'm back and forth between Houston and Atlanta. I have documentation showing that I was in Atlanta when all of this was concurred. I moved on, and that's her problem.
What happened with that charge? Is it gonna get through? I
So she
mean,
says that the incident occurred on the 24th. She made a walk-in report on the 25th. Like I said, I called HPD on Friday and they told me that the report's made. They gave me like an incident number.
pregnant with whose child?
I believe the defendant's child. She told me that he's
How
aware.
far along?
I think right now she's 6 months. I don't remember exactly how far along she told me, but like I said, the officers made the report. They have photos of her from the 25th or from the incident on the 24th. I can confirm that with her. I just spoke with her on Friday.
So, Mr. Dolphus, understand that there's a protective order that's been issued in this case. I would get to know it because if you violate the protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you. If they file those additional charges, it's called a violation of protective order. We put conditions on that and you violate it. We can have a hearing to hold you at no bond, zero bond, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person in Harris County. You're telling me that you're in another place. I will give you a lawyer today and we'll see. If you have that document, great, put it up. Let's see. I'll give you, I already have an application on file. I'm gonna give you a lawyer today. Let's see what you have. But as it stands now, I don't want you to have any contact with this person. I don't want you to be in possession of weapons and not to go within 1,000 feet of where she lives, where she works. And I'm gonna put a monitor so I know where you are at all times. If you want to go to Atlanta, great. There's no problem with that. I'm not going to put any travel restrictions on you. Just don't go anywhere near where she lives or where she works. That's all I'm asking you to do. Don't pick up any new cases as well. You go to Atlanta, everything you do out in the free world, you need to be thinking, if I do this, am I going to go to jail? If I say this, what kind of ramifications is it going to have? Because it's your liberty that's at stake. All she's got to do is go, hey man, he's bothering me, and boom, you go down. Don't give any cause for that to happen. So for now, I'm gonna have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I'm gonna find your lawyer and then you tell your side to the lawyer and then we'll go from there. He can always, or she can always reapproach and we can talk about how to go forward. All right? Please.
That's it for now, Judge.